Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. Today is October 7th, 2017. Today on the newscast, we're talking Rush Hour, Pacific Rim, BattleFront 2, and Google News. Stay tuned for all that and more. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. It's still October 7th. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Happy true Thanksgiving.
Happy long weekend.
Yeah, no kidding, right? You know, these always, like, the newscast approaches every week, and I'm like, yeah, I get to see people and talk and hang out, and then it's like, but as the week progresses, I'm like, oh man, I want to sleep in.
See if I can do it.
I just want to, like...
Yep.
Either way, welcome to the newscast, the Barrel Roll Newscast, in fact, where we talk about nerd-type things, movies, games, and other assorted tech and nerdy-type junk. And starting, I guess... Do we used to do it in the post-credit show or the newscast?
I don't know.
I think the post-credit show.
My brain is just not...
I think we can always go back, but... and soon to be sports news, because, you know...
Why not?
That's nerdy.
It can be.
It is for us.
Nerdy is a... It depends on your definition of nerdy.
Correct. For instance, I'm just making sure she's not chewing on the microphone cord again. Like, for instance, I always like the nerd type thing. You see people who get into sports, and no one ever made fun of that guy sitting at the baseball game writing stats. Like, you know, he's got the full page and he's just writing stuff down there like he's a dedicated sports fan.
He could be called a nerd.
I do, yeah, totally. I do that with a card game to, like, you know, check my inventory on my trading cards.
Same thing.
And I get made fun of and beat up on the playground. So, you know. Whatever. Either way, let's start it off. Rush Hour 4.
Yeah.
A movie that I didn't know I needed in my life.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
It has been confirmed.
The script has been written.
And Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker
are doing it again.
Are back. Chris Tucker, I
haven't seen him in a while.
No, and I mean, he does stand-up.
Yeah. So,
I mean, and a lot of those comedians, when it comes to stand-up comedy, that's what they end up doing. They're just like, hey, I'm back on my stand-up routine, and this is what I like doing. I don't need movies. I can travel from city to city every day. And,
yeah, I'm still going. I'm still getting paid.
And a lot of them, that's what they like doing.
Yeah.
So, that's what he has been doing. Look at me. I'm just like...
And Jackie Chan is just...
And Jackie Chan's
He's coming out with The Foreigner.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
And, yeah... Apparently he figured the script was written and talked to Chris Tucker and said, hey, let's do this before we get old.
And again, like I said, too late.
Well, let's see how they do it. The Foreigner might have just aged.
Jackie Chan can, I think, swing back. Like, he could still do Rush Hour. I have no doubt. I mean, The Foreigner, he's still kicking butt, and you know that's still Jackie Chan doing it.
Yeah. And he'll probably be against some young...
Yeah.
Guy that he has to teach a lesson to.
I'm too old. They can steal the line from Lethal Weapon. Yes. Chris Tucker can pull off in his squeaky high voice, like, I'm too young, I'm too old for this stuff.
And then we'll have a Lethal Weapon 5 or 6 or whatever it is now.
Crossover.
Just to get that line back.
Yeah. Well, because they can't even say that on the TV show. I'm like, you're making a... Well, no, because you can't say shit on TV.
I guess.
You can say I'm too old for this. You can say I'm too old for this. You can say I'm too old for this stuff. I'm too old for this crap.
Yeah.
But not too old for this shit. That is not allowed on TV. Yeah. That's why How I Met Your Mother, when they did that one episode where they were all too old for that stuff.
It's always replaced with other words.
Even when they were smoking like marijuana on the show, it's like sandwiches.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Rush Hour? Like, I'll see it. I enjoyed the other ones.
I'll probably see it because I've seen the other 3.
Right. I enjoyed them enough. Are you licking the whiteboard, Echo?
That's weird.
We might not have people cast members today, but we have a bunch of fuzzy ones in the house, so...
Causing terror.
technical difficulties, and
2.0.
I guess 2.0 because she's just a technical disaster, really. This one pulls a cord out. The other one chews straight through it.
Different techniques.
Yeah, that's true. The younger age coming through, improving on the old people's techniques.
Yeah, I don't know. Most like.
Do you think they can recapture? Like, did they lose magic in the other movies?
It's gonna be a lot of old person jokes.
Yes.
Like, I don't think Chris Tucker is actually showing his age.
Not as much.
I think due to plastic surgery, probably. But Jackie Chan definitely is.
And I can respect Jackie Chan for that one.
Yeah, I definitely feel that there's going to be a lot of old people jokes in this. We're too old for this, or yeah, that type of stuff. The third one was iffy. Like, it wasn't.
I'm with you on that one. I don't even.
It was
one of them. They went to Europe.
His brother.
Oh, that's right.
And they were in Paris. They were in Paris in number 3.
Was that number 3?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I remember some things.
That one wasn't so great.
And see, that's the problem when people do sequels now. They tend to do this whole, we have to go bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't.
You could stay the same.
You can just literally have them, like, fighting crime in, whatever, California, New York, wherever they happen to be, or, but that's, like, even the Die Hard movies went from, okay, you go from the tower, and then you go to the airport, then the city, and then it was just like, we just have to keep going.
I can't remember what number 4 was after that.
Internet terrorist plots in the
country.
country.
It was focused.
But that was more the country. They were trying to save the United States at this point.
Yeah, but they're still in D.C., though.
They were mostly
never
still
moved
in
out
D.C.
of
And then they went to Europe for the next.
Into Russia, yeah.
And then we figure the 6th one, they're going to, they got to go to the moon.
Space fight.
Yeah.
But this also might be a lead into younger characters, maybe.
The way things are going.
I mean, they could say that, hey, Jackie Chan settled down, and Chris Tucker's character finally settled down, and they had kids.
Yeah.
They could do that. They're at that age where they could.
Yeah.
And then maybe you have a kind of a spin-off to soft reboot of...
Yeah, you could do something like that.
That, because obviously the TV show failed horribly.
Oh, that's right. They tried to do a TV show.
Yes. That was...
I'm getting kind of sick and tired of all these TV. Again, we were just talking about Lethal Weapon. I'm getting sick of all these TV
Lethal
shows.
Weapon's actually not too bad.
I tried. It's not the same. And again,
my parents watch it, and they said it's actually
it's probably a good show. But me going into it going, okay, Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get the same stuff.
It's not Lethal Weapon.
No. But the Rush Hour failed horribly. I don't think it even got a full season.
They didn't.
And then, yeah.
Like, at least Lethal Weapon is a pretty good basis to go off of, because it's a buddy cop movie. It's not a buddy comedy cop movie.
Yeah.
It's a buddy cop movie with comedy elements, so you can still pull off the action scenes and the the straight man next to, like, the wild gun type character and all that stuff, as opposed to... Rush Hour, where it's like, both of us get to be funny!
Yeah.
All the time!
Yeah, no, they didn't capture the magic.
And again,
But the only people who can capture this magic...
Again...
are Tucker and Chan.
Yeah, and it's that kind of movie. Again, Rush Hour is kind of like, okay, this is getting kind of stale. And then Jackie Chan does Jackie Chan stuff.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
And then Chris Tucker can go back and be an idiot.
Yeah.
And then Jackie Chan can do more Jackie Chan things, and you're like, okay, I can put up with the... I can put up with the comedy that's kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Because I also get to watch Jackie Chan do Jackie Chan things on a TV show without Jackie Chan. Like, there is only one Jackie Chan.
That's true.
Okay, you have to settle. Lie down.
I don't want to.
Screw you, man. I'm going to knock the camera over, then I'm going to lie down.
And lay on the cords.
Okay, well.
And the camera.
She just bumped it. We're good.
Yeah. Speaking of sequel movies, another one. Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep updating.
That trailer dropped.
Yes.
I was at work when it dropped, and I was disappointed I had to wait till the end of the day to listen with sound. it looks exactly like the first one.
I'm okay with that.
Like, I don't know how you're going to keep upping the monsters' abilities, because it looks like, due to the trailer, the monsters start healing themselves in mid-battle.
Well,
or they morph into kind of one. It's either they heal or they morph into one.
The first Pacific Rim did say, as the monsters kept coming out, they were getting stronger. Like that, they were sending better and better monsters.
You can only go so much before eventually the monsters are gonna.
This is only their first form, man. Just wait till they go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't know enough about the monsters other than the ones that keep coming out, keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So eventually, and the fact that the humans have now clearly pissed them off by
blowing up that portal.
By blowing up the portal.
Yeah. And yeah, I have a feeling it's going to end. This one's going to end the same way Independence Day ended, we gotta take the fight to them.
This one makes way more sense for them to take the fight to them, though, considering the portal's just like...
Well, who knows where the portal is anymore?
Well, we don't know where this new portal is, but I'm assuming it's actually attainable.
Yeah.
Like Independence Day, the way it ended, where it's like, we're going to take the fight to them, and I'm like, you're going to spend how long building spaceships and this and that? Why not just build a planetary defense system?
Well, they tried that, though, but it didn't work.
And call it a day. I know, but, you know, if the humans tried it.
They did try it.
It would. No, but like with the new tech that they have.
I guess.
Like if you can fly now to their planet, you might as well just set up a defense system for your own planet.
Starship
and be like,
Troopers.
At least Pacific, and again, Pacific Rim giant robots going through a portal to fight a bunch of monsters.
Yep.
I'm in.
And these new robots actually
look pretty badass.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Oh, me too. That's like even the first one people come out of it and they're like, why didn't if he had like the badass sword of awesomeness? Like he had the badass sword of awesomeness. Why didn't you just pull it out at the beginning? I'm like, because it made for a wicked scene.
Well, yeah.
Halfway through the movie,
you don't pull your best weapon at the start.
Essentially, guys, this is like watching an anime.
Yeah.
But like it is a CGI live action
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, anime type show. You don't.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting better and more extreme the longer it lasts.
The more we talk. Yeah, sequels get more extreme.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So I'm just like, bring it.
Yeah, this one I think is.
This is a sequel where I'm just like, yeah.
Let's go bring it to them.
Well, and it did super well in the international markets. Not so good over here for whatever reason, because apparently
never do. Unless it has something to do with North America.
I know, but it throws me off. Where it's like it's giant robots fighting giant monsters. What more do we need for like?
So we don't need a story.
No.
Just give me those.
You guys are willing to go see Nicholas Sparks movies that have absolutely no storyline other than girl falls in love with boy. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, giant robot fighting giant monster, way better than that story.
The perfect Valentine's movie.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes out around that time.
It's like all the Valentine's movies after Deadpool are just like action movies.
These guy movies.
Yeah. Take your girlfriend to this; she'll love it.
Yeah, I know. It looks awesome.
It does.
Cannot wait.
But yeah, they obviously stepped it up from the last one, so that's definitely a good thing. Should watch the first one again. See, that's one of those ones that came out on digital copy only for Ultraviolet. So there's like, I have an account somewhere, I think it's my Flickster account.
Just for that.
That has that and Ted. Because I'm like, oh, digital movies, this is like okay.
Yeah.
And then I got the Chromecast at home. So you hit the button to cast it. Well, my Google Play Movies makes it easy.
Yeah.
I mean, Apple Play, that kind of stuff makes it easy enough. Mm-hmm. Like the Apple TV and all that jazz, if you have that to broadcast out. Like, it's easy enough through
you have it.
Right, it's easy enough through the big two companies.
Yeah.
These other companies that started to try their own thing and not give you access to the other stuff. Like, when I put in a digital movie code and it goes Apple, Google, or Ultraviolet, I'm like, well, thanks for giving, I appreciate that Ultraviolet is a choice because a lot of people did build their libraries on Ultraviolet.
Yep.
For those of us that didn't, though, and you give me iTunes and Ultraviolet, you can go suck a giant egg. And by egg, I mean something else.
Just get iTunes.
And I have iTunes, but I can't cast iTunes to any. Like, that's my thing. I have movies on my iTunes.
Yeah.
That were ages ago, that's all you could get your digital movies. on.
Yeah.
Like, you got the disc and you put it in your computer, and it's like, oh, we noticed you put Captain America First Avenger in your computer. Would you like to, get the movie on iTunes? And I'm like, damn, Skippy, I would. So it's on my computer. It's not this one. It's on the one, like, the one that I never turn on.
Blow the dust off that.
Yeah. Wipe the screen off. Look like an Indiana Jones movie where you're, like, slowly brushing away the...
Treat it just like that, too.
So, either way, I'm excited for Pacific Rim 2. And what's his... Finn's in it. Is Finn not in it? Oh, looked like
the
Finn
guy?
on the promo.
The main guy?
Yeah.
No. Because of the filming schedule,
Yeah.
because it's a Asian
Oh, yes.
filming company, they film at a faster pace.
Ah.
And it's...
Because he was
and
offered
then you're
that
there,
role, wasn't
and then
he?
you're there for you're there for a certain amount of time.
Ah.
And he couldn't commit to that because I think he had other things going on.
Oh, dear, I'm trying to play the trailer and get us banned from the internet.
It was just robot sounds. We don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't be in it, but the two scientists, Charlie Day and
John Boyega, he's in it, right?
Burn Gorman, yeah.
Just not a ton, like...
No, he's the lead guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Finn's in it. John Boyega.
Oh, that Finn, yes.
That's Finn, he's in it.
Okay, yeah. No, I thought you were talking the main character from the first one.
No.
Charlie Hunnam or whatever his name is. Yeah, no.
I knew he wasn't in it. No, I'm saying the Star Wars
Finn,
guys.
yes. Yeah, absolutely.
He's gotten quite big, this John Boyega.
He's getting there.
Star Wars.
So is Ren.
Yeah.
She's doing the Orient Express.
Right.
Which is supposed to be a
Daisy
big movie.
Ridley, I knew was going to... Like, the lead female...
Always.
Usually takes off.
Yeah.
Because she stands out a whole lot more. Like, you're in a crowd of dudes and,
And the fighter pilot guy's already kind of been
established.
Yeah. In the movie biz. Can't remember his name, but...
So...
Yeah. Didn't realize Mako was in it again.
Oh, well, maybe they're just tiny little appearances.
Just the guy probably has died or something, or he's retired. He'll come back for the third one when the fight goes to the monsters planet. Okay,
and now all you need to do is get let's get the kid who played Spider-Man in the third one.
Why?
I don't know, just for fun. I'm casting the third one already. I feel like he'd be fun. He's so agile and quick.
He's already doing Uncharted.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't need the Uncharted. I don't need the Uncharted.
That one.
I'll see it. Because honestly, I feel like doing the Uncharted movie is actually a better thing than doing a young Indiana Jones or a reboot Indiana Jones. Like, I feel like
it's his own thing.
Yeah, you let Indiana Jones just do your fifth one and hope to God it's good. And then just let it go.
Yeah.
So, you've got Star Wars, you're good.
Yeah.
And then let Uncharted do its thing.
Yeah.
Kind of, it almost like it's like Tomb Raider slowly just kind of like faded. And then Uncharted came out, and then Tomb Raider came back to kicking butt. But
oh yeah. Yeah, Tomb Raider and Uncharted movie at the same time.
Oh my God, they should just
hook up.
I was gonna say do a movie together, but yeah, they should just have sex.
Nathan Drake and Lara Croft. That their children would be the most amazing adventures ever.
Or disappoint their parents horribly and not at all.
You're the disappointment of the family?
Yeah.
I like you.
We need to have another child. Why? This one does not adventure.
He doesn't climb things.
He's 2, and he has yet to climb anything.
He's playing it safe.
Yeah.
That's not our
we
stuff.
Do not, no,
That's
we
not
do
our stuff.
We do not need that in this household.
We need to bring him on an adventure with us.
He should be swinging on the chandeliers already.
Yes.
Except that's always kind of the difference, because every time you see Nathan Drake, he is not in a well-to-do type thing. He's always in a hovel, and Lara Croft always starts off pretty much in the mansion.
Not anymore though.
No, now we do the flashbacks every once in a while.
They kind of gone back to, or not gone back. They've.
But she came from money. That was.
She came from money, but lost it.
Yeah.
Because according to the reboot, it's the Trinity organization that has kind of taken it away from her.
Now she just globetrots around the world.
With, the money she has.
Well, she finds stuff.
Or she pays for it in other ways.
Nathan Drake. He funds all of her adventures.
Yeah.
Totally. Either who, Pacific Rim 2, I'm excited.
Yep.
Like I say, that's a good. I was hoping we'd get a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, it was about time.
It's one of those ones where you're like, yeah, sequel. Again, Power Rangers, another one with giant robots, where they're like, we're not sure if the sequel's gonna happen, and I'm like, oh man, but like you did we went to see that. They did a good job of setting it up.
Yep.
Where you're going like, man, the sequel's gonna be 10,000 times better.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the piece. Is like you're like, this was a good first movie. The sequel's gonna be.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we don't know.
The game.
Yeah, they're like, we don't know if we made enough money to do a sequel, and you're like, oh man.
Low budget.
Yeah, just bring the
Less
budget
Zords,
down.
more fighting with the ninja style.
There you go. Or you know what? I know a cheaper way to do Zords.
Puppet or dress
You
people
just
up.
put you just put a guy in
cardboard.
a giant costume, and you build a tiny city around him.
You go 90s
and they
style.
just start.
You go 90s style.
Yeah.
It's weird to say that. Usually you go 80s style, but no.
No, you bring this back to like the original like Power Rangers and just a guy in a rubber suit.
Yeah. Do it.
And you know what? If they did it, people wouldn't even be mad. They'd be like, yeah. They'd have to change the Zord.
Well, obviously. Because I'm still confused at how that came together, but...
Shh, we don't ask questions.
It just happens. I explained that to Ross. He still hasn't seen that movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, so they got the Zords? I'm like, yeah. You have no idea how.
I liked the Zords. Like when they were
fighting individually, but then they came together.
Then they went down a hole and came back out, and they went together somehow. And there's no real trace of like
maybe the hot.
It melted them all down and rose them up like a phoenix from the fire.
Yep.
Now they can no longer ever go back to original Zords. It's just like one solid massive that they have to heat up so he can move.
Or they have to make new ones.
The Ninja Zords. See, we've got this. We've got this sequel.
We got movie ideas.
Next up, and this is just we're gonna start kind of focused in where the story's coming from, and then broaden ourselves out to other games that this is happening with. But Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, looks amazing.
Looks really good. I'm tempted to buy it, if not for this.
And this part, like this, has to get more research done to it. So the big piece is there are crates and other sort of things that you can get in the game that you can pay for. Now we've seen this in all sorts of games. You see it in Overwatch. We see it in Heroes of the Storm. You know, and a lot of games are coming out with this kind of stuff.
A few games, yeah.
And you can either pay for the crates or you can earn them through doing in-game type things.
Yeah.
The part with Battlefront 2 is apparently the chests unlock actual like upgrades to weapons and tools to use. Like it's not just cosmetic stuff. It's legitimately like, oh, like here is this kind of grenade in a crate.
Yeah, no.
So that's the piece where this is now pay to win as opposed to just like.
I think that's where the confusion is is it going to be that if you pay for it, you're going to have a huge advantage over people who don't pay for it.
Right. What's the advantage you gain by having that grenade? What's the advantage you have by?
See, I'd be okay if they did they have it where you can buy it, you're fast tracking yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're upgraded and you still get the same stuff, it just takes you longer to do. I'd be fine if it was that because I don't mind the slow grind. But if there's special stuff that you have to buy to upgrade your character, and then if you don't buy them, well, you don't get it. Screw you.
Well, see, in this one, so it'll be that way where if you play the game and you play for like 300 hours, eventually you will also have the same chance of unlocking all this stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can pay $200 and get it all. The problem is with a game like this where it's online and you're competing.
No one wants to spend. Well, there are people that.
There are people that are going to do it, but you know, and that's the thing is, really all they're doing is gaining an advantage of sorts earlier than someone else.
It's a cash grab.
And it's definitely a cash grab. That's why else people are pissed off.
Yeah.
But the same thing happened with NBA 2K18.
But I mean, I realize that obviously games have become bigger as society, and it's because people have taken this more seriously. But really, do you need that super advantage just to be the best.
And remember, the best for a while.
Yeah, like, do you really need that to be the best for a tiny bit of time?
And the other piece is once I've unlocked, like, and again, in a game like Battlefront, once I've unlocked weapons I'm comfortable with,
you're good.
I'm good. And again, I'd have to look at the weapons on Battlefront. Like, we did some marginal research on this. We haven't gone, like, completely in depth, but I've played Battlefront 1.
Yeah.
There are different weapon sets that I have yet to unlock.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm losing every game.
Well, you're not doing as well, but...
It means I'm not doing as well. It means that I have to take on a different role.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be, over here doing this. I only have this kind of blaster, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm comfortable with it and I'm good with it.
Yeah.
It's not like... At the max level, I've unlocked a rocket launcher with 8,000 missiles in it, and a jetpack that can fly me over the entire map without running out of fuel, and all this stuff. Like, you're not gaining a huge advantage.
No.
And the chances are, because it's like, most of that stuff's a ranking system anyways for matchmaking, eventually at least.
I would hope they would do the same thing.
Right. So the same thing is, if you start dominating, you're just going to end up playing the other people who have paid $200 for this game.
Just have it kind of... Maybe you take away from not playing with your friends, but have it that if you paid for it, this is what type of games you're going to go into.
Or if you have all the shit unlocked, like, you're going to be playing more people with more shit unlocked because you've clearly played the game more.
And that's what you say, you don't get to play against those players that don't have it.
Well, and even when, like, we step into games together for, depending on what game it is the lower level person ends up getting screwed.
Yeah.
Because you're stepping into, like, they're ranking against
other guys.
The higher person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, and then you look at a game like Splatoon that's like, here's all the free stuff, guys. Like, hey, there's a new weapon coming out this week.
Yeah.
And some more levels. And it doesn't really matter what weapon you use because guess what? If you're good with it, you're on an even playing field with everybody else.
Like I said, I've played against guys where I felt I had a better weapon.
Yeah.
And I went away from my split dualies, and then I go up against a guy who has split dualies, and I'm like, oh, cool. And he absolutely just destroys me.
Yeah, you're like, but every time I went up against a guy with my weapon and I had the dualies...
It's just a playing style.
Yeah, so that's the thing is now Battlefront 2 going to be, if I pay the money and I get matched against someone who has equal skill with me, and I have not paid money, and they have, am I going to lose?
Probably. But that's how it always goes.
And that's how
you could always tell the people that have paid to get that extra stuff.
And again, we have, like, there's the lightsaber dueling thing that's part of this game now.
Yeah.
There's no pay to win on that one. Lightsaber's a lightsaber. Unless you unlock new moves by paying for them, in which case...
Unless you hit them and then at the bottom comes out another one and then you turn it up.
I've unlocked the secret blade. Or they've just gone all Assassin's Creed.
Or they have a second one behind them and they're back and they just...
Remember how Darth Maul had like the dual wielding lightsabers? Now he has that and a third one.
Yes. No, and a fourth, because he would have the same thing, 2 staffs in his hand.
Yeah, so for that part, I mean, it's not pay to win. And the rest of it, honestly, again, this is going to be huge maps. A lot of people against a lot of people.
Yeah.
If I keep running down the same hallway and dying because Bob's at the end of it with his, like, sniper rifle that he has paid $1 bajillion for, I'm just not going to go down that tunnel anymore.
Yeah, you test it out.
Okay, like I said, a few times. So you go down like once and you die and you're like, oh, there's a sniper down there. I've got this. So you throw the grenade or you try and be sneaky or you know, and then he shoots you. Like, so by the third time you're like, okay, I've got this. I'll go like...
Until your other route, there's someone else sitting there too, and then you're just like, well...
I'm going to go through this tunnel, or I'm going to go... And if I end up on a whole team against people that have all the stuff unlocked and my team does not... Then it's a bad game, it's a wash, you call it a wash, and you try again. Like, same with NBA 2K18, this is the problem that people are having, is they're like, well, it's microtransactions everywhere. And I'm like, I have yet to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you want to get my career guy up to as good as he can get, as fast as you can, yeah, you're going to pay money.
Yep.
And they're giving you that option. So if you just want to do the street stuff and you want to level your guy to like 85 so he is an average player for the streets,
yeah,
you can pay money. or you can just, play.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, for me personally, I mean, I was already on the fence about buying Battlefront 2 because there's so much coming out this month.
I was going to say there's like a bajillion other things coming out.
Battlefront I think it's this month that Battlefront 2 comes out.
I think so.
This one or next month?
Fact checking.
But either way, I have 2 games. Sorry, I have 2 on the PS4. I have 1 coming out for the Switch.
Yep.
I have another questionable one if I want to buy it on the PS4. I've recently looked at the movies that are coming out this month. That's like one every week.
Battlefront 2 comes out November 17th. The beta started October 4th. So, for players who pre-order.
Okay, so it gives me a little bit of time. But still, I have
not enough.
I have a potential of 4 games to buy. Probably about 4 or 5 movies to buy this month. If this is what's going to happen, I'm not necessarily going to be rushing out to go get that game. Oh yeah, you still got that.
I was going to say, I've already purchased Destiny 2, which is coming out on the PC on the 24th of this month. I have Mario coming out this month.
Yeah, that's...
I have...
And I'm still questioning whether I want to get Rabbids.
Oh, yeah.
And if I want to do Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley...
it's...
Okay, I tried it on the PC, I played it for a bit, and I'm like, ah! And then I saw it on the Switch, and I'm like... And then I saw it on the Switch in Canada, again, in case you're watching and going, it's not that much money. Nick, what are you, like, high?
Like $80?
No, it's 16.
$16?
Yeah, 1.6.
Oh, boy. Well...
So that's why I'm like, well, for $16, I'll give it another shot. Like, how bad can it be?
I mean, I preach this to Tony all the time. Because I finally responded to a Twitter question or thing. I should just buy everything. That's what I told him to do. I should just
start buying it all.
And he said no. He's going to start with Golf Story.
Golf Story was good. I did buy Stardew Valley because I'm like, well, it's there, it's $16. And then I saw Brian playing it, and I'm like, oh.
I need to get that micro SD.
Yeah.
So I can stop putting games
on my... Brian came over, not yesterday, last Friday.
Yeah.
And he went and bought, before he came over, he got a micro SD card because he was getting FIFA. So he's like, I needed to go, like, nah, shit. And then he's like, I can't read it. And I'm like, he didn't actually, like, plug it in the whole way. And I'm like, oh, man, dude. So I plugged it in, we downloaded FIFA, because he bought FIFA, starts trying to download it, and it's like, not enough space. And he's like, there's like a 64 gig card in here now. Plug it in, starts downloading, he's like, whew. But,
because this game.
Yeah, well, he's like, because, yeah, the sports games are stupidly big. Like, it drives me absolutely up the wall as to how big FIFA and NBA are.
Yeah.
On my Switch. I'm just like, oh man. And then Mario's coming out at like 6 gigs.
I know, right?
And I'm like, what do you do? Nintendo's a magical company.
They don't put a lot of effort into that.
There's a ton of effort, which is the thing. Like, their game, if they didn't optimize it properly, is probably like 82 gigs, and somehow they get it down to 6. And you're just like... And it looks gorgeous. Like, that new Mario game looks stunning.
That does remind me, I should probably check my PlayStation external. See what that's at right now.
So yeah, I got Stardew Valley, so that's out if you want to like jump into that game, which takes 8 billion hours of your life.
Well, it'd be one of those slow burning games.
It can be,
but that's like I said. It just piles on.
Yep.
And like this isn't helping.
No.
With all this, find out this pay to win stuff, that it's pushing Battlefront 2 back for me.
And it does, like this kind of news does, and I mean, Tony and I talked about it with, again, NBA. I'm like, it's not taking away from my NBA experience because I'm playing single player.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
Well, and I guess that's the other thing with this is there is
single player, but if you're buying a Battlefront game, I'm buying Battlefront...
It's my new Call of Duty.
Right. I'm buying Battlefront for the big battles. I'm buying NBA because I know I'm going to lose online already, so I'm just like,
yeah, it's the same with my NHL.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'll play single player. So for me, single player works. For other people, they're like, my career guy sucks, and no one will even play with him on the court because like he's only level like 72.
Oh no!
Until you get into the 80s, your stats for like blocking and that kind of stuff aren't great.
Yeah.
So you can get in front of the guy,
but you do.
But as soon as he throws the ball, you're just like, oh.
Yeah, well, I just reach in. That's all I do.
Yeah, that's Exactly.
As we found out last week.
So I I got to throw this out there before I forget. I went from playing FIFA like a mad person.
Yeah.
To going back to NBA because they've patched the game so it actually flows a little bit better now.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, I got to see what this patch did. Went into a game. I've gone from a soccer pitch to playing on a basketball court. I'm like, why is it so tiny? Did the patch shrink the court?
It's like looking at a big dog and then going to go home and see your tiny little thing.
Yeah, I know. So that's what I mean. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this game like so hinky? What happened to the basketball court? It got so small. So yeah, I just laughed at myself because I'm like, ooh, the game patched. So I literally went from FIFA to NBA, played 5 seconds of NBA, booted up Stardew Valley. Oh no, I quit playing soccer and switched to Stardew Valley because they gave me a red card. Something I did not do.
You tackled someone.
I did.
Stop tackling people.
You know what? I'm actually really good at it.
Tackling?
Not this, like, I never slide tackle, but this guy was getting away on, he was getting away.
Yeah. I'm
like, ah, crap. So I hit the button.
Red carded.
Yeah, came up right behind him and just... So I'm like, well, I'll just quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good game, though. Good game. Yeah. But yeah, I booted up Stardew Valley. I made my character. And then... something came on the Food Network that I actually wanted to watch. So I put it down, and then I picked it back up, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing Stardew Valley at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Because the beginning is a slow burn because you get a farm. Well, you have to learn everything. You get a farm where you can't do anything to.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, this is a lot of work for 9 o'clock at night after
You mellow out.
After a week of work. I need hockey. I'm glad hockey's back. I can mellow out with hockey now.
Yes.
Either way, pay to win. Depending on the game. I like the cosmetic. I don't mind having the loot crates for cosmetic type stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. If you can get me like, Luke Skywalker in like fancy Jedi robes versus like this or that or anything else, that's cool to have in crates.
Yeah.
Having weapons that literally make you unbeatable?
Yeah, no.
Not cool.
I'll just buy it for my brother for Christmas, and then I'll watch him play it. And
there you go. And
see how that goes.
You can sneak up and play single player, and then
ruin his single player multiplayer scores.
Yep. Exactly. That's actually the best part of FIFA. You can't play with your friends online because that's just beyond EA's capabilities.
Totally.
But it does track. There's like little games you can play while you're waiting for the game to start. It tracks the high scores on that and tells you who's doing like better at those. And I'm like,
so you're doing better than Brian?
Depends on the game. And then there's another guy I have on my friends list that I had on my friends list from the Wii U days.
Yeah.
We actually used to draw that's how we met. I still don't know the guy's name.
Okay.
We just used to draw pictures all the time. So we followed each other. And every once in a while we'd play games together. But of course there's no voice chat, so I've never actually met this guy. But
if it's a guy.
It is, because, he has his me.
Oh, okay.
And it is a long-haired, bearded, unless he's Jesus. I might be actually playing with Jesus.
Ooh,
yeah.
Cool.
But we're still friends, because when you bit the switch, there's a part of the friend zone, friends code part, where it's like, oh, import your, people from your Wii U, and I'm like, yeah sure. And so I did with people I knew.
Yeah.
And then this guy actually sent me a friend request again, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, we can be friends again. So it's tracking him on FIFA, so I'm more in a fight with him than I am with Brian at this point. Bring it, Brian. Bring it.
If you're listening.
Well, and Brian has said he's been having some issues learning the game. He keeps getting red carded, constantly.
He's a hockey person.
He's very aggressive. And actually, the hockey plays in FIFA, I have found work quite well.
Give and go?
Give and go, get to the point, one-timer from, the point kind of thing.
Yeah,
goalie has no idea what the hell's going on. Neither do the players.
I'm
outside the crease, and they, pass me, and I'm just oh, boosh, goes into the corner, and it's yeah! And, all the players are just he's not supposed to, kick from there.
Yeah.
I made Team Canada.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Either way, moving on to
our... It's not hard for the men's.
Moving on to our last bit of news. Google had their big presentation with all of their
stuff.
they released the Pixel 2.
Yeah.
So no headphone jack on the new Pixel.
I don't know why they're doing this to me.
I honestly don't, and it's funny because everybody I talk to is like, I still like my headphones being
Apparently it's the way it's going now.
plugged in, and the sound quality is still better out of a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
I see the people, like, you can tell which iPhone they have is because they just have the little white thing in there. It's like, that looks stupid.
Also bugs me because, like, and one of my coworkers and I were talking about this one. What happens? You're on the bus and you're like listening to your music, and I can't fit Apple headphones into my ears anyways.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to in ever.
Yeah, they're weird.
Because they're weirdly shaped.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, new ones that aren't weirdly shaped, still weirdly shaped and don't fit in my ear. So I go and buy, like, the cheap ones from Shoppers Drug Mart that still have the little rubber thing on them and go,
well, I did that.
Or for home, I have,
somewhere.
Like, when I'm doing actual sound work, I have
Yeah.
actual headphones. But, like, yeah, those things don't fit in my ear. So my one coworker's like, you're sitting on the bus, and all of a sudden you hit a bump and...
Yeah, no, there are apparently adapters that you can buy.
Sure.
That
yes.
you get the regular headphones.
Yeah. But again, I don't...
Still, why am I paying extra money for...
A headphone jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, the new Pixels, the new phones, the Pixel 2 no longer has a headphone jack.
Woohoo.
It has some colorful buttons on the side. It's got the Google Assistant. So when we do the whole, like, you know...
Hey, Google.
That one. Because I can't say it.
Is it around?
No,
Okay.
It's unplugged. And my phone won't respond to your voice, so we're okay. But when you do that command, you get the assistant now, as opposed to just like a Google search. So the assistant will actually be able to, like, she talks back to you. She's Siri now.
Ooh.
Like, it's the Google version of Siri.
So Google's playing catch up.
Well, the Google search engine was always Siri.
Yeah.
It just didn't always do some of the talkback thing. The other part to Assistant is you can actually text Assistant.
Oh, okay.
So if you're out in public and you don't want to be like, you know, you see all these people like, hey Siri, like, blah, 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 and you're like, what a douche.
Yeah.
You can actually do this with Assistant and be like, hey, you know, can you tell me what time this place opens? And bloop. So it looks like you're just texting your buddy.
Yeah.
When really you're trying to get information from, you know,
something that
Google.
You should, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing I actually found interesting about this whole thing,
Speaking
because
of
I have an
jacks.
iPhone. I'm a headphone. Or I'm just a headphone. I'm an iPhone person. So it's kind of disappointing, but it also almost persuades me to change to Google. Is the new headphones or earbuds, I guess, and which can translate 40 different languages and shoot it right into your ear like that.
Yeah, instantly.
Which would be great, because I would just go up to my kid in school who's talking to his uncle in a different language, and we want to know what they're talking about.
Well, that's what we were saying. We're like, man, this is going to make it, like, because, yeah, in our school, too, you know, you have to get a translator in to have a talk with a parent.
Yeah.
And it's like this, like, pop.
Yeah, because
and again, for them, you're like, you'd have to spend a bundle on headphones, because now you're putting
fine.
headphones into their ears and your ears. But I mean, one set of them is.
Yeah, no, it's worth it. It could be a business write-off.
Oh, for sure, for that kind of thing.
But you have to have the Google Pixel or whatever.
Not even the Pixel. You just need a Google phone that runs
and
the
the
operating
app.
system. Yeah.
And have the special app that does that. Not that I'm being super creepy with trying to spy on people, but in the classroom where I work, how do I know what they're talking about?
Especially when you're talking about school stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Like, how am I supposed to know what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I would personally use it for, is kind of work-related stuff, and it would help. They need to come up with something for the iPhone.
Yeah, that's a big one that they have to try and catch up with.
Because I know if I get a Google phone, I will hear it from a few friends that have told me we've been doing this for years. And I don't want to give in to that.
Welcome to the Google ecosystem.
I don't want to. I don't want to.
I'm glad I got my Pixel before the Pixel 2 came out.
And you can have that.
I can have that.
And apparently you said the price is what, $250?
In Canada, it's about $250 when I was looking.
Which,
because I just thought ooh, Google's making headphones, neat.
Yeah, which it sounds like a lot, but for what it can do.
So before I read what it could do, I'm like, oh, Google's making headphones.
Yeah.
Like to match the Apple ones.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. Looked at the price.
Nope.
In Canada, $250. And I'm like, oh, goodness gracious me, this is expensive. And then all of a sudden I see that it can translate 40 different languages. And I mean, I did this 100 years ago now, but when I went to Europe,
Yeah.
$250 is a cheap.
That's the other thing, too, is you can go into different places. You can travel somewhere and not have to worry about that.
It is now a cheap, and I mean, I had a flip phone when I went to Europe the first time, because that's, the day and age that it was when I went to Europe. But going now, $250 for translating something is actually fairly cheap.
It's great.
One that I can legitimately just, stick into my ears.
It doesn't help you talk back to them.
But my phone can.
Yeah.
So I can hold up my phone and be like, I need to pee.
Back.
Where's the bathroom? And my phone can at least.
Yeah.
And again, the translating's not going to be
perfect.
perfect.
Obviously, a different language is different.
Yeah.
A dialect and just
it's going to change, but at least you'll get the gist of it. Like if I ask where the bathroom is.
Yeah.
And if you've even got the one in that's translating and you're listening with the other one, and the guys, and I mean, people do this when you travel, and again, it happened to me when I was in Europe, is people try to get money out of you.
Yeah.
For other assorted things. There are nefarious people around the world.
What?
Yes. So if, you ask where the toilet is, and they're all like, oh, it's totally down that, they're pointing down the alley at the same time going like stupid tourists, like I'm going to send you to my buddies who are going to mug you.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, you're not, mister. I'm on to you.
Yeah.
As you run away.
And I would be kind of curious. Obviously, they're going to cover the main
You're going to get your big languages.
Spanish, French,
Google's been working on.
I don't need English, but it could probably do that for other countries where you don't know. The main ones. I'm curious as to what kind of the limit or where you can go.
I don't know what languages it's going to do, and if it can pick up slang.
Lebanese, probably Mandarin.
I'm assuming, some
Cantonese. All those different ones.
Yeah.
So, it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it's really cool tech.
It's almost doing to me what the Switch did.
Soon we'll have Chris. We'll just suck him out of everything.
It's doing it to me again. I don't really want to do this. Because I have so much stuff on the iPhone.
I know, and that's the big piece.
I don't think I could transfer it over to... I know there's probably ways I can do it, but it's not really complicated
not to do. Easily. And like any movies, do you have movies on? No, you don't have digital movies, so you don't have to worry about that.
It'd be my music that I'd be a little concerned about. If I could transfer those over, all my kind of apps and games that I have.
Apps, you're screwed.
Well, there are games, though, that I've...
If you log on,
both, and there's a way to transfer it over. It's just, it sounds really, from what I read, really complicated.
And music, as long as you can get onto a computer with your iTunes account.
Yeah.
You have to get onto a computer with your iTunes account, download all of your music to that computer.
And onto the phone.
Not onto your phone.
Okay.
From there, you get something like Google Play Music, which is the subscription-based thing, and upload it all to them.
I don't know.
I know. Switching ecosystems is so tough, and that's whichever company actually makes it easier to switch.
Yeah.
Becomes the team who wins.
And I think it would be really tough to.
It is tough. That's why they haven't done it. Like otherwise,
really tough to Google. Or tough to go from iPhone to.
It is. And
Google.
For me to go to Apple, I lose my movies. Well, I don't because I can get Google Play. I can get Google Play Movies on an iPhone. But for me to go back to the Apple ecosystem, is fairly difficult.
Yeah, I mean that's.
So it's like
my dilemma.
I know.
Would love to.
One of my coworkers was the same way because she had her iPhone and she's like, "Well, how do I do this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Get a better phone. Maybe I can help you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I used to have a Samsung." And she's like, "But my family used iMessage to communicate." Across because one of them lives quite far away.
Yeah.
Well, text messaging does not work because it costs, depending on your plan, way too much.
Yeah.
But the iMessaging was free essentially because it uses up that much of your data. So she started using iMessage because of this one family member.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's 8 billion apps that do that now. Like we use WhatsApp for barrel roll news.
Yeah, and that's how we communicate across
That's
iPhone.
That's how we group chat between everybody. And she's just like, "Oh, you can like do that now?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's."
It's faster.
And because this other family member also shut off their iMessaging, for whatever reasons they shut it off. So now the one reason she switched to an iPhone
is gone.
She's just like, well, I want to kind of like switching back wouldn't be a bad thing. But now all my stuff's on Apple, and I'm like. And luckily, she doesn't have a lot of stuff, so it wouldn't actually be that big a thing. But
I probably don't either, but it's just...
You do enough stuff on your phone with apps and that kind of jazz where I could see it being a bigger issue for you to switch.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, I think I have an iPad, obviously, so it...
Again, those communicate together. I have a oh so man, I don't even remember what it's called now.
A tablet of some kind?
It has a name.
Sure. Tablet. Mystery tablet.
But it's my Google tablet.
Yeah.
Again, they're connected.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like once you get into an ecosystem, again, one of my coworkers, he is Apple. Like the TV, the phones, everything that can be Mac or Apple is at his house. And he sits there going like, because he'll say something about, his Apple Watch. And I'll be like, yeah, like, my Android Watch has been able to do that for quite some time for half the price. Thank you very much. And then it's like, well, my phone can do this. And I'm like, yeah, well, I can, like, just download this and change everything on my phone. And he's like... and he finally sits there and he's like, hey, yours is, like, Google is making the bigger strides.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I'm in. He's like, if I get an Apple phone, I have to switch my Apple TV out. I have to think about my computer systems. I have to think about my... And you don't really have to think about your computer systems.
My computer is,
Windows.
It's a Windows, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, but if you have a Mac computer, it works better with all the Apple stuff.
Whatever. I don't need a Mac. That's the one thing I've been against with Apple is the Mac.
So that's my thing. Like, and I mean, I went from a Mac guy. I own Macs, and then...
Yeah.
Steve Jobs died, and that's essentially when I was just like, oh, okay, let's see how the company does after. Nope.
Yeah.
Like, he was that guy who kept taking those steps for that company, going like, okay, this is the next thing, this is the next thing, this is the next thing, and you're like, oh, man. Which was good, because, again, I like it. It's like when the DC movies come out, and I'm like, I hope this one's a good one, because then Marvel has to stay on their toes. Same with Android and Apple. Google has to pick up the pace when Apple was actually like, chugging ahead. It's like, like you actually had competition. Now it's like, Apple does a press conference. They're like, our phone does this now. And it's like,
woohoo. Now, do these headphones play music too?
Yeah, they're Bluetooth headphones.
And then you can switch it to translator?
Yeah, so they're just Bluetooth headphones, but they also have
I mean, the good thing about that, I think, is that it would be wireless.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hook up to your phone.
Yes, and...
automatic, and have it plug in and everything like that. That would be the only...
Yeah. For the translating bit, I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, I can see not wanting to, like, oh, man, I gotta, like, click... And again, the Google one has the nice cord that attaches the two things together.
Yeah, put it in...
That's what I mean. You can have it somewhere.
And I think it wraps around your ear.
And there's a weird little ear thingy.
That'd be fine, because that's how it would stay.
That's what I mean. Ear. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I know. We were looking at them the other day because we're like, this is intriguing. It's intriguing tech. It's very cool. Like we're approaching that Star Trek era.
Yeah, where everyone can communicate.
Yeah.
With everyone.
Like we're approaching that era of. There's even a new Star Trek TV show where there's a new Star Trek TV show and Seth MacFarlane's new sci-fi show, but you see the tech on those shows and you're like. We're getting there. Yeah. Started with the sliding door, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
The next thing is the little for medical stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But I mean, and again, we're getting there with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is
kind of.
These headphones, and again, you think for schools it's good, but think of like the medical profession.
Yeah.
An emergency room. You have that, like, I always feel bad for that nurse that's sitting at that emergency room, like, reception desk.
Yeah,
and someone starts yelling at her in some language, and she's just like,
Slow down.
And they're not...
My thing can't pick it up.
Well, but they're not yelling because they're mad at her. They're yelling because there's an emergency, and that's just how, like...
Yeah.
That's just how humans react. And she's just like... She can now be like... Slow down. Like, let me help you.
Yeah.
And just, like, what's the emergency? And they can talk, she can understand, and actually help.
Yeah.
And it's like... We're at that point now.
Yep.
Unless they don't speak one of the 40 languages that's available.
Can you speak a different...
Yeah. Do you have a different dialect you can speak, sir? Potentially French. It does very well with French.
It picks up on these things.
Does very well. Italian, it's pretty good with Italian.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's cool tech, and that's where we're sitting there going like, man, for like $500 Canadian, you get 2 sets. So, yeah, you can actually have that conversation with.
I could be in French class.
Yeah.
And know exactly what people are talking about.
Well, and again, it's like here in Canada, eh?
We have 2 different languages.
We do. We have English and French. So when they get to grade 4, at least in Alberta, we have to start teaching them very basic French.
Yeah.
We're at the point now where you're only going to have to learn 1. Like, you're getting to that point where you learn your native tongue.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then one day we'll all have a little thing like, you know...
attached to our ear.
Pretty much hooked onto our ear all the time, and you could speak gobbledygook, and as long as Google knows how to translate gobbledygook, you're in.
You're good. You're golden.
Yeah. Soon we'll understand babies. And then that will be a terrifying world.
I don't know if we want to do that.
Kill them. Kill them all in their sleep.
What?
And you're just like... See, if I'm Google, that's how I'm messing with people. Every time it hears like a cooing or like the goo goo gaga thing, it's like, must lighthouse.
But even too, just thinking of this too, if you can watch the foreign films,
yeah,
you don't need the subtitles. You can just
subtitles
have that
anymore.
in your ear,
yep,
and listen.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, it's doing the same thing subtitles are doing.
Yeah, but it's
because I'm not getting any of the inflection or anything off of subtitles. You know, when the guy in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon makes a veiled threat at someone, I don't know it's a veiled threat.
Yeah.
Other than reading the thing where it's like, unless he's specifically being like, I am going to kill you, it's like, oh, he's going to kill that guy. Because I don't know when they're speaking. Like, again, it's like English. When we speak, a lot of people don't pick up sarcasm.
Nope.
Because sarcasm is all in tone. So if you're not from here...
Although I could see it being on there not having... the tone.
It won't. So that's the thing. Like, watching a foreign film, it's not like you're going to be like... It's not like it's going to go sarcastically.
Yeah.
You know, the Ninja Warrior has said, you know, your ass is fat, yo.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
going to take
pick
away
up
from it, but I think still...
But again, for a foreign film, it won't. Because all I'm doing is... I'm not spending my time
anyways.
watching. I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what their tones are when in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's like...
But at least you can keep up.
Yeah, at least you can actually keep up. And watch the action and know what they're saying, as opposed to reading and trying to like.
We're thinking about the entertainment business now.
Yeah.
Movie theaters will have it next.
And again, the cheaper these things get, and the longer the batteries last. That's the other piece, because I think it's got a 4-hour battery life on this.
Is that it?
Yeah. But the case that they come in is the charging case.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they don't even have cords that charge things anymore. It's just place it on something and
so
let it go.
the case it goes into when you drop them in.
Yeah.
And like zip it up or whatever. If you have a portable battery pack and you have that just plugged into the case, as soon as you drop into the case, they're charging. So if they're in your backpack somewhere, and you're just like, oh,
nice,
just like ninja whip them out, like.
Not that I'm listening to my. Well, sometimes I do, listen to my headphones for 4 hours.
And again, at that point, I don't know how you. Again, that's my watch.
Yeah.
Once my watch is dead, my watch is dead. It's not like I can. I could be a really weird person with a battery pack in my butt pocket, a white cord coming out, and like running down my arm that's like magnetically attached to the bottom of my watch.
Yeah, look a little weird. Long sleeve shirt.
I guess, yeah. Just get like a USB extender that runs up my back and.
I feel weird.
Yeah, you feel like I'm wearing a microphone or something. It's like, why do you have a
Secret
microphone?
Service.
Yeah, why do you have a microphone pack on, sir? We've been found out. Evacuate! Evacuate! So yeah, no, that's some cool tech coming from Google. But their Google Assistant now, you don't even have to say, hey, Google anymore. You can literally just, the pixel you squeeze.
Oh, good.
And it pops up.
So you just start talking.
You just pretty much, it's like, and your phone's like, what's up, Nick? And you're like, oh, man, The Google Home Mini, so you're not buying this weird. It looks like an aromatherapy thing.
Yes, there's mini versions of.
Yes, the mini version's coming out. So yeah, you don't have this sitting on your thing. It's now just it's this big. It's the bottom part.
You can lose it easier.
And I don't mind this in my house. It's not like it's ugly, and this part does. This part I think changes. I can change the color of this piece because Google likes everybody likes the white look to stuff. I also didn't know I could take this out and I can clearly plug it into a mini USB.
There you go. Things we learn.
Either way, and this thing freaked me out when I first plugged it in.
Yeah.
Because it attached to my Google account right away. So I was like, hey, what does my day look like? And it's like, hey, Nick. And I'm just like,
uh-oh.
It already knows my name.
It's taken over.
Well, again, we talk about that at school where it's like, didn't Orwell, in his books pretty much say that technology was going to take over by pretty much lulling us into a false sense of security before it pounced? And I'm like, it's okay, I've treated it nice.
It will warn me before it turns on.
Google's going to be like, Nick, I hate to do this to you, but we're only giving you 10 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Be happy, though, because your neighbors didn't even get those. 10, 9.
Run.
Throw all the likes. I'd be dead.
Your watch would zap you.
Watch zaps me down. Phone gets me from the pocket. TV falls from
your
Google Home rolls off and starts
grows legs.
Yeah.
Starts coming at you.
Yeah, this just pops off. Legs pop out of the speakers here, and yeah.
It's like a spider.
Worst nightmare ever.
It's a face hugger.
That's how they breed.
It's technology. We watched too many movies.
Either way, Google had a pretty impressive little thing, but yeah, those headphones were definitely for me, the highlight. Because
really
I'm like,
impressed with it.
I'm like Google Home Mini. I'm like, eh.
Yeah. No, I personally wouldn't use it.
I remember the last time I plugged this in, you were here.
We played a trivia game and I won.
Yeah. You can also play that off your Google phone, which I found out at Graham's birthday.
I don't want to play that by myself.
Oh, it wasn't. It was a group of us. It was, and Google's kind of mean when you play that game, because I put my phone down and I'm like, Google, I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah.
Started the game and everybody's like, what's going on? And I'm like, it's a game show, guys. Like, chill. And so Google started doing its thing, and it was like, well, how many players are it? Like, how many people are there? And one person's like, 200.
Oh, good.
And she's like, wow, that's quite the crowd. I can only play with 4 of you. And it's like, oh, man. So,
yeah.
But that was the last time I plugged my Google Home in. I see the benefits to a Google Home. I just have to find a good place for my Google Home where...
Maybe recipes.
That was kind of the one thing, like I told my wife, I'm like, if you need conversions done while you're cooking,
yeah.
If you're baking and you got your hands in dough, and it's telling you to add this much of this, and I mean, my wife can do most of the conversions on her own now, because, that's what she does.
She's been doing it for a long time.
That's what she does. But, I'm sitting there going, if you need the conversions and you're like, oh man, you can legitimately go like, hey Google, how much is this converted into this? And the Home will tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, or you've got a song playing on your phone through the speaker system. You can say like, hey Google.
Or you play them, play music.
Yeah, and it's like, hey Google, switch to the next song, and it will switch to the next song for you. And I'm like, see, there's marginal,
small things, but how often really...
Again, never.
Would I use it? Yeah.
I honestly thought about taking this to school. Because it is locked to my voice.
Yeah.
So if, the kids have questions or something... Because we use Google for stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if a kid asks me questions, it's actually a bona fidely, good question. Yeah. And you're like, that is a good question. Let's Google. I could legitimately, from where I'm standing, be like, hey, Google, what's blah, 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 and...
Yeah. You better be careful on what you're saying.
That's my phone doesn't respond to the hey. It only responds to the okay. The one thing that is creepy, though, is Google does save your voice searches.
Uh-oh. Yeah, no.
It tells you, as it's doing it on the Pixel, it's like, by the way, this is being, we've saved this. So there's a file I can go to somewhere on Google and press...
In case you need to search it up again.
And press the button, it'll actually play my voice. Yeah,
Nope.
I know, and my voice is already scary enough. I have a hard
I
enough
know.
time watching these podcasts after we film them.
Yeah, I know. It's totally different.
When I used to have to edit these before we were live all the time, it was horrible, man. I had to listen to myself talk.
Good thing for technology.
Yeah. Advancements in technology.
Yeah.
Either way, that's our list for
Well, there
today.
was-
There's some more stuff going on. There's New York
Yeah.
Comic-Con going on right now.
All I've seen is the cosplay.
Pretty much.
And apparently they're very well done too.
There's some hinky stuff going down in Hollywood right now with certain directors and that kind of stuff that we didn't really talk about because that's just kind of
Right,
it's creepy. Although the funniest one, and my wife actually told me this one yesterday. Shameless.
Yeah.
The lead girl on Shameless.
Yep.
Emmy Ross.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know her name. I mean, something Ro. No.
Rosum Ro.
Yeah,
either way,
yeah,
the main
yeah.
lady from Shameless. She was going to go for an audition for a movie.
Yeah.
And apparently it was, I don't know if it was one of these directors that's in trouble right now. Or if it was a different one, but I think it's one of these ones because everybody's speaking out against these specific two right now.
Okay.
But she's like, I was told that the part was mine if I showed up at this guy's office wearing a bikini. And she's like, so I got a copy of the script, and nowhere in there was there a scene where I'm naked or in a bikini.
Yeah. They just wanted it.
They just wanted to literally have her prance around, like he wanted her to prance around her office in a swimsuit. And my wife's sitting there going, she's naked a lot in that show.
She'd be okay with doing it if it required.
If required,
Yeah.
she'd be totally fine with. The other piece of it, though, was like, my wife's like, if he really wants to, like, play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, because I casually watch
better
that.
alive.
I casually watch that show
Yeah.
because my wife has gone through the whole series.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it when she's watching it because it's a really good show. I get lost because I have no idea what's going on half the time because I come in like 3 episodes and then I miss 3 episodes and then, But it's like, I have casually watched that show and can tell you that she is like, if you're looking to make sure that she doesn't have a fat butt, she does not. And my wife's like, correct. Like,
Yeah.
she is she is actually really skinny.
Yeah.
Like, she is a skinny girl, and it's just like, yes, like, I can tell you what she looks like nude. That's like asking one of the girls from, Game of Thrones to show up naked so you can make sure that she has the right butt. Again, I don't even watch that show, and I can probably tell you the answer to that question.
True.
But you're just sitting there going like, oh man, this is so hinky.
Yeah.
And then it's hitting the YouTube stuff now. It's hinky news. I don't like talking
Well, yeah,
about
I mean,
hinky
there's
news.
also, like, you're starting to hear more of it now.
Yes, because people
Because kind of going with the Game of Thrones lead, one of the lead ladies, Lena Headey, has said that she doesn't flirt with directors to get a job. She refuses to do it.
And you shouldn't have to.
But apparently a lot of actresses have to.
And that's
And she said she has lost out on opportunities because she would not flirt with the director.
Yeah.
And she doesn't really care.
And she shouldn't. You don't want, and again, I don't like, it's your job and you're supposed to be doing that. Like, you're not supposed to be flirting, but like, to do your job, you're hoping you can do it in a professional manner where you don't, like, I don't think I have to go into a business.
Yeah.
Or, again, a school and be like, hey, principal, what?
Impose.
I would never work. Earthquake! Oh, wait, you can't see it.
We can see it.
But that's what I mean. Like, they shouldn't have to do that in the first
No.
place, and a director shouldn't. No one should be having to do that for their
But
job.
I think that's what happened.
No, it does. You gain power, and you gain like.
You have to do this for me if you want a job.
Yeah, you think you're entitled.
But
to
a
this
lot
kind
of women
shit.
are speaking out now, which is
Good.
good for them. And yeah,
because these people shouldn't be allowed to make movies based on that kind of stuff. Again, that lady from that woman from Shameless. Again, I wish I knew her name. Is a really good actress.
yeah,
Like in that show, she does an incredible job because there's a wide range of acting required for that show. Because they are up, they are down, they're high, they are drunk, they are this, they are all over the place. If you're getting her in for an audition, cool.
yeah,
Done.
yeah. No.
And again, if you require like an actual, for them to be able to do a physical type something, I feel like that's okay to also be like, okay, we need you to be able to run from this corner of the room to that corner of the room and not be winded.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay. You know, like Chris Pratt before Guardians of the Galaxy versus after Guardians of the Galaxy, like...
Yeah, but he had to be physically in the role.
But that was his choice, too.
Yeah.
Because when James Gunn hired him, he was okay with overweight Chris Pratt. Like, Star-Lord was okay
It'd be
with
odd to
being...
see you go from, like, Thor to Captain America.
to Star-Lord.
To Star-Lord.
But that's a James Gunn thing, too, where, like, his superhero doesn't have to be...
Yeah.
You know. But Chris Pratt was... Well, yeah. But Chris Pratt's thing was he did. Like, he's like a superhero, like a hero should, you know, like, they have to have that body, that physique.
Yeah.
So he did it himself. But again, even an overweight Chris Pratt for that role should be able to go from this corner of the room to that corner of the room and not be winded and be able to say his line.
Yeah.
That I feel like you can ask an actor to do for an audition.
Yeah.
Making them show up.
In a bikini for no reason.
Even a bikini.
Yeah.
If the scene calls for them to be in a bikini...
You want to make sure they look okay, Which
if they're an actress in Hollywood...
There's still intentions there, but it's...
Yes. Which, again, in Hollywood...
Yeah.
And again, maybe the question is, like, you know... And again, maybe you're making sure they don't have any... But with technology the way it is now, and makeup the way it is now... Like, even if they have a giant birthmark
They're taking a mustache
off
Superman.
Right. If you can take a mustache off Superman, you can make a birthmark disappear. And Angelina Jolie's entire back is covered in a tattoo.
Yep.
That you never see in film.
Yep.
So, if the person can act, they should have a job.
Exactly.
It should not be based off of, like... And again, I'm talking about real movies. I'm not talking about Piranha, like, you know, 3D.
Yeah. Those are...
Where clearly the requirement on the, like, job application is that something has to be a specific size.
Yep.
And again, I don't have to see them.
Yeah.
When you walk in, I'm pretty much sure I can, you know, gauge the appropriate, like, it's like, yep, she followed the rules. Yeah. And again, you're not getting Judi Dench to just show up for that film.
No.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's not like she's going to show up and you're going to be like, you know, they're trying again. The little one's learning from the big one. Either way, so like I say, there's some hinky news and it's working into its way. It's working its way into the YouTube world.
Yeah. No, it's not surprising though.
So there's like some bigger YouTube shows and companies that like stuff starting to come out with, and I'm like, oh man, we try and keep it wholesome here at Barrel Roll News.
We let out the odd F-bomb.
Every once in a while we do, but you know we figure we're I guess
swearing at me for no reason.
Yeah, well, I know all you did was tell him to watch a really good show on Netflix.
Know, right? And he swears at me.
And he just swears at you. I don't understand it. But either way, it's we try and keep it wholesome here, just so as you knows. And if we had female coworkers, we wouldn't abuse them.
Nope.
In any way, shape, or form. So we don't though. So
no.
Problem solved. Not that we haven't asked.
Yeah.
I've asked people. I always ask people if they want to be on our show. The answer's usually no, though.
Ross will come back one day.
That's fine.
Because he needs to see her.
Pancake!
Wiping the board for us.
Either way, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the Barrel News Cast. You can check us out soon after I go take care of some household stuff. And we take a break to let all of the YouTubes and the Twitches and everything reboot themselves. While you're waiting, though, you can check us out at barrelrollnews.com.
Yeah.
You can find our Twitter handles. You can find our Facebooks. You can find our Barrel Roll Twitter. You can find all of our old videos.
Everything.
You can find everything there.
You
should go there and check it out. And when you're there, you know, go to the YouTube.
Like us.
Yeah, go to the YouTubes and like us, and go to the Facebooks and like us, and go to the Twitters and don't like us because you can't like us, but you can follow us. We like being followed.
Kind of.
You should definitely follow us. But not in the creepy way, because that would be wrong. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.